If you've ever been into any side of music production or just ever freestyling with the homies,
road make wide turns, fucking on a real pretty bitch with good sideburns.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Listen, man, fur coat.
you should be familiar with type beats. Type beats go way back as 2009 to 2010, with the original purpose being to emulate the style of a famous artist or producer. But somewhere along the way, type beats have lost the plot, becoming nothing more than a rapper popularity contest, a multi-million-dollar theft ring, and a way for aspiring producers to get their hard work stolen by rappers, and proving that the gatekeepers of the industry are trying their best to kill type beats, despite being blatant hypocrites. What's good, gang? It's SB Cap the Bonnet Bandit, and today we will look into all that and more, starting with the history of type beats and its rise to popularity. Chapter 1. Starting with the type beats rise to popularity, like I mentioned earlier, the oldest type beat is said to have date back all the way to 2009 to 2010, but even the Wayback Machine can't confirm this. The only evidence we have is Google Trends that shows the earliest signs of the existence of type beats actually dates back to 2008, which didn't start gaining traction until 2009 to 2010 and gained its first peak of popularity in 2016. Ironic, isn't it? Because if you guys remember what I said earlier, the definition of what we have for type beats are to emulate the style of a famous artist or producer, aka inspiration. And what year was more inspiring in rap than 2016? Even 10 years later, people still talk about that year like it was yesterday. Which leads me to my next point, which is that type beats became a popularity contest, with the whole premise being based on inspiration. It's not hard to imagine that most type beats being mocked after the biggest rappers. After all, influence is inspiration's dirty cousin, and this wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for the fact that type beats aren't type beats. Once again, it's to emulate a rapper's style, but the problem with type beats comes down to the very fundamental of music, which is that music is subjective, meaning that everyone interprets it differently. For example, to start off, I'm gonna play you guys 3 different beats meant for 3 different rappers. Now, the point of this isn't to bash any producers by saying that they suck or anything. It's just to prove my point of saying that music is subjective. So even though these type beats could be meant for 3 different people, aka 3 different artists, they can still end up sounding the same. Alright, let's not make this too long, let's get through it. You see what I'm saying? They all kind of sound the same, don't they? That's because music is subjective, and there's no definitive rules of what counts as a Kodak beat or even a Glock 40 Spaz beat. It's all on who the producer's vision could be on it. That producer's version of Kodak might not be the Kodak you want, but that's only half the problem. Because remember when I said that it's a popularity contest? That's the second reason why when you're looking for a Lil Yachty beat, it sounds a lot more like a Drake beat. Because when producers upload beats on YouTube as type beats, their aim is the biggest amount of views possible. After all, their goal is to sell the beat and make a living. Most don't care if it's not a real plug-and B beat. So what ends up happening is that they end up putting the most hype rapper in the moment that they can think of. And if you don't believe me, let me show you. Okay, so for this section of the video, we're gonna do 3 groups of rappers. Rappers who fell off, rappers who are about to fall off, meaning they haven't really had a hit in a while, and rappers who are kind of popping right now. Our goal of doing this is to basically show that, you know, the whole point I made of a popularity contest, of how type beats are really just targeted to rappers that are the most relevant at the moment. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first up for the rappers that fell off, we got Spot 'em Got 'em, aka Spooky Mookie. 5 months seeming to be the earliest. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 month ago. Like, you're still gonna get some every once in a while, but now we got a rapper who's in a cold streak, aka Jack Harlow. But as you can see, the most recent one isn't even strictly a Jack Harlow beat. It's a Tommy Richmond and Jack Harlow beat. Who the fuck is Tommy Richmond? The $1 Million Baby song. So it's like, yeah, of course. Anyways, yeah, without it being a Tommy Richmond beat, aka a more relevant rapper, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 3 months ago,
6 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 4 months ago, 3 months ago. You see what I'm starting to get at here? Now let's go to a rapper that's like popping right now. For the rapper that's popping, we got Cash Cobain. Now, as we can see from this one, Cash Cobain's kind of hot right now. So yeah, 4 days ago, 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 12 days ago, 12 hours ago, 3 months ago, 1 month ago. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, that's besides the point. Hope y'all get the point from this. Let's get back to the video.
But that's honestly the least of our worry. Chapter 2, the producer theft ring. Now I know when I said this in the intro, you guys were probably looking puzzled or were expecting a CoffeeZilla type expose, if any of you even know who that is. But no, this is actually plain and simple. There's an epidemic of producers stealing from other producers on YouTube.
I'll be taking that.
You see, the YouTube system isn't really fair on producers. It's whoever pumps out the most beats wins, leading producers to be worked like a sweatshop, also leading to countless beats you have to skip through till you get to the good stuff. But if you've ever searched through any beats on YouTube and thought you were crazy, but thinking, hey, this kind of sounds exactly the same as a few other beats, well, you're not tripping, because these YouTube producers out here moving like Drake, stealing people's homework and labeling it as their own. Again, if you don't believe me, let me show you.
Producers are getting their beats stolen on BeatStars and then resold, right? And like,
Bro, you mad? I haven't seen.
no, I'm tired, bro. This is a stupid. Every single.
None of them are actually buying licenses, so they again, it comes down to what you just explained. That kind of entitlement of I paid money, I can do what I want now. BeatStars, so I don't want to single us out, but YouTube, anywhere really that people are uploading beats, social media, like it can happen anywhere. So it's more of a problem of people. Sometimes people even buy the beats, man. That's the other thing. So then that would be a BeatStars thing or whatever platform that you're using, right? But people will either buy beats, steal beats, do whatever it is, and then just either release the song with an artist and put produced by this person's name, even though they didn't produce it.
Yeah.
And they do absolutely nothing. Or what I see a lot of is adding something.
Okay, so if you made it this far, let me start by congratulating you and saying thank you. If you liked the video so far, I would appreciate it if you can give it a like, a comment, maybe even a subscribe. Hey, beggars can't be choosers. Anyways, let's get into it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. But mind you, this doesn't only apply to producer on producer. That's honestly the least of it. First of all is the rappers. See, most YouTube beats have the label free on them, so most people actually assume that it's free. Well, it's not, you idiot. It's free for 1,000 streams, which if we're being honest, most don't even reach. But what about if you're somebody with 1 million streams? YouTube producers have always been getting cucked by rappers. But the most recent example of this is an underground rapper called LaserDim 700.
Hey, what's up?
Who, if you didn't know, did a song war stream with a streamer called Plackboy Mac, where he made his biggest song till this day called Asian Rock, which guess what? Was a YouTube beat. Now a few months passed and kind of find out the dude that produced the beat did not receive a single cent, not even a penny. Chapter 3, the hypocrisy. Now despite the countless rappers that have used YouTube beats, with Baby Smooth, NLE Chopper, and LaserDim just being a few, there's a stigma around YouTube beats that somehow they're inferior to working with a producer exclusively. But let me ask you this, where do you think these record labels find some of their producers to give placements? There's a weird mind division that makes people believe that if the beat's on YouTube, it gotta be from the most talentless people in the world. But let's say I'm a producer who uploads my beats on YouTube and I suddenly stop. Does that make my beats any less ass? No, I don't think so. So now am I not only still making ass beats? Now no one can give my ass beats a chance. The funny part is this is said by people in the industry, not even rappers. But here's the kicker. NLE's first blow up song was a YouTube beat. LaserDim's biggest song to date was a YouTube beat. Donnie Katana's an award-winning producer who is also a YouTube producer. Same thing with Ant Chamberlain. So why is it so looked down upon? Now this is gonna sound like a conspiracy theory, but I think it's a form of control. To take freedom away from artists and producers. Think about it. If you brainwash rappers to think YouTube beats aren't the way to go, what you end up with is a monopoly for the already established big name producers, getting all the business and charging whatever they want, allowing for the gatekeepers to keep producers in check and artists broke. But if you disagree or agree with anything I had to say, let me know in the comments below. It's been that boy SB Cap, the Bonding Bandit, going through a hair crisis. Y'all boys keep chasing the bag.